Do you hear me, guys? I think there might be two streams going. I think I may have messed up, so just as a heads up. Let me know if you hear me. Yes. Yay! So I didn't completely forget, just almost completely forgot how to do live streaming. So for that I apologize. It's been a while. Got 4 people in the chat on my end. I don't know if there's more than that or not. Perfect. Thank you, James, for letting me know. Connor, how are you, buddy? It's been a long time, I know. Gotta send notifications out. That's how absent I've been, that now, like, my live streams are completely non-existent. Alright, so I guess one of the first questions is where the heck have you been? And honestly, it's just been very, very busy. I've been extremely, extremely busy. It's been, I want to say since, wasn't too long after I did the rescue that things got very, very, hello, Randy Rob. Things got very, very hectic my end. Absolutely, Connor, by all means, DM me. But after the after the rescue that I did, which for the most part everyone's doing fine. I did lose quite a few of the guppies, especially the ones that were battling a fungal infection that just, it eventually just took its toll, and the medicine actually ended up probably doing a little more damage than good. So everyone else seems to be fine. Everyone else is doing really, really well. Everyone that's left. So then my friends, they actually own a pizza restaurant, and unfortunately they've been having some issues with some employees. So I told them that I would help out, and that's basically, I ended up helping them out more frequently than I initially signed up for. But that it's good because it keeps me busy. But unfortunately, it means that my Sunday nights, where I'm usually live on the Sunday night, I can't be there. Punchy Pam, hi. So unfortunately, and Anthony's fishy friends, hi. So yeah, so unfortunately I haven't been able to stream much. And then just to put some, hi guys, do I have 2 streams going? Because I feel like I have 2 streams going. And if I do, I really apologize. So basically my time has been there helping them out to run their pizza shop, because little known fact is I can actually hand toss pizzas, and that's what I've been doing. So if I don't smell like my fish room, I smell like pizza. So it's been kind of crazy, and I feel so bad for them because they're great people, and they just keep getting really just just terrible employees. And I keep telling them, like, this one's gotta go, that one's gotta go, and now it's just kind of me that's doing everything. So hello everyone that's joining. But now, since this wonderful or not so wonderful outbreak of the COVID, obviously that's taking its toll on everyone. So first and foremost, I hope all of you are staying safe and well, and just do everything to keep yourselves and your families safe during this, because this is just unprecedented. I just can't believe it's even something that I'm living through. So I hope that all of you are just heeding every single warning that's out there and doing everything you need to do. And this, no, what light is it? Is it this side? The light is really glaring. I apologize for that. I tried to install some lights onto this rack, and I know a lot of you are going to notice there's quite a large gap between the water here. And the reason being is because I just got some new betta recently, and I don't have screens on the tanks right now, so I dropped the water line just to make sure that nobody jumps out. Rounded Rob, what's horrible? This glare from this light or the virus? Sorry, I think there's a delay. But so yeah, that's basically what's been keeping me busy in between that and trying to maintain my fish room and keep up my breeding programs, of which my shrimp breeding program, or I say my program, but like my shrimp are absolutely breeding out of control, and it's absolutely fantastic. I actually have, all right, Rob, sorry about that. I have different grades of cherry shrimp, so anything from just like regular cherry shrimp right up to painted fire red, sorry. I'm actually at the point where I have them available and for sale, so that's awesome. And then I just got 4 new pairs of betta in, which again is phenomenal. Unfortunately, you can't really see them. I don't know if you can really see him. The light's probably glaring him out a little bit, but there's one in just about every single one of these tanks behind me. There's a new betta in there. So I have very big plans for that. This tank, can't see where my hand's at. This tank over here is babies right now. I have a batch of baby betta in there that I'm growing out. So again, more exciting stuff. My betta rack is full. So it's, even though I haven't been here too much, everything here is still going full force. I'm trying to keep up with everything as much as I can, social medias, and also the fish room, which it's amazing how much you appreciate it more when you're not around it as much. I could honestly sit in this room for hours and hours and hours on end. So I really miss being down here all the time. But there's big plans coming. And I said it before Christmas that as soon as the warmer weather came, I would start doing the upgraded betta system behind me here. And finally, the weather seems to be breaking here, so I'll be able to go out and get into all of the fish tanks and cleaning them up, which, let me tell you, is going to be a task because they are disgusting and they've sat in my garage for a long time, and I'm not looking forward to planning out. I'm honestly not looking forward to trying to figure out the piping and Or that's not my forte at all. And let me see. You have gotten your own Italy now. It's so sad. Yeah, exactly, Mikey. Um, but it's been a lot. There's been a lot going on. One of my a couple of things that have transpired here. I lost the fight with my flower horn. Unfortunately, she did finally. I had to euthanize her because uh, what she was going through was just. It became to the point where it was just not was not fair anymore. So my face is itching, of course. Don't touch your face, but my face is itching. But yeah. So I lost my fight with her. What else? My 75-gallon blew a seal, and that's drained out. Hi, Dr. Black. Um, and anybody else that I missed that came in, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. What else? I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to do a website or not. I'm probably not. It's okay. It's not a. It's okay, Dr. Black. Don't worry. I know I'm kind of overlapping. It's kind of it's difficult for me to have a schedule right now just because things have been so up in the air for me. And then Friday night, I also managed to blow my back out. So I was like, you know what? I can't be over at the pizza place helping at the pizza place, so I'm just gonna sit down here and jump online and say hi to everyone that may have possibly missed me, because I missed being here. I miss talking to everybody. But and I kind of know that I'm probably stepping on some people that are already streaming, but they're much bigger channels, so it's okay. I'm not hurting anybody. But what else? My grindleworms. Apparently, I've become the crazy grindleworm lady, and I have currently 4 colonies, and I'm talking like 10 by 20, 10 inch by 20 inch potting trays full of grindleworms, and everybody right now is obviously worried that they're not going to be able to get fish food because of this COVID-19. So a lot of people have been buying that. So that's another thing that I've been really busy with. But then I took a whole bunch of like little short clips of around the fish room and little updates on certain tanks and so on. And I go to download them to my computer, and my computer will not take them off of my phone. So I don't really know what to do about that. I've checked everything that I need to check, and it, for whatever reason, it's just not allowing me to. I actually caught it myself. Yeah, I didn't get it done. I took the purple out, and then got a pair of scissors and I cut it all off. So yeah, I wasn't too sure if it was a smart move or not, but I think I did pretty good. So whatever. Even if I think it's a little lopsided, but I really don't even care. So it saved me $30 going and get it cut, So I like to do things myself. Even when it comes to dyeing my hair, I do that myself too. But there's a point where it just gets too long. Like, I couldn't lean over the fish tank without it like falling out from being tied up and landing in the fish tank, and then I would move and everything would be wet, and I was just like, I'm done with this noise, chop it all off. So I did, and it's grown quite a bit since I cut it, because I cut it back in probably late December, early January, and I cut it all off. So, but thank you, I appreciate you saying that it looks nice. I appreciate that. What else? The designs have been drawn up for the fish rack going across here, and I actually decided that I was gonna go with 15 gallons. I have probably every bit of I think 25, 15 gallons. And what is that supposed to mean? I don't look like the other fish tubers. I hope that's a good thing. um, so I have like, I had the plans drawn up originally for this area. And this wall, if I remember correctly, is about, I forget, I completely forgot how long this wall is, but I want to say this wall I can fit comfortably. I can fit 18, 15 gallon tanks. And then if I go over where the wall over here, where this part of the wall is, if I go over that, I think it would end up me going over by about, I think 8 inches, which isn't too big of a deal. I can fit in 21, so I'm thinking I might try and sneak in those extra 3 fish tanks, just because you can never have enough. And I did a head count, and I think I'm up to 97 fish tanks once all my other ones are installed. So yeah. What else? I am breeding because I cannot import anything right now. All of the ports in Thailand have been shut down. And Indonesia too, from what I understand. Nothing, you can't get any betta fish imported right now. And I mean, it is what it is. I'm just glad that I can actually breed the stock that I have, and you know, pass the time until I can actually import some other fish. And then next week sometime I'm gonna have a pair of copper aliens coming in. I'm super excited about those. And I also have a list of like my most wanted fish for my fish room, and things that can live in 20 gallons. I was considering actually getting rid of some of my fish tanks, because they're all drilled. Like, all of them are already pre-drilled through the bottoms. And there's so many pros and cons for having a system like that with the drilling. Who else here has pre-drilled tanks and runs them off of a central system? How many betas do I have? Now that's a great question. Lots. A lot. I probably have 35, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 2, 53, 54. I have 54 adults and about 60 fry growing out. And that's just my beta. Actually, I have more. They're upstairs in my 55 gallon too. So I don't know. I don't care. I just love them. But this tank over here, this one, has tiny 2-week-old babies in it right now. And they're growing really, really well. I kind of wish there was light over there, but the babies, I found for me that the baby beta don't particularly like the light very much. I find it with the adults too. Like, these lights are on only because I'm streaming. That's the only reason I have them on. Otherwise, for the most part, I let, the natural sunlight light the room, or I'll put them on for maybe 8 hours and then I turn it off. But with the rack system that I'm going to be putting in here, I'm going to divide all of the 15 gallons up to probably like 3 or 4 dividers in each of the tanks, so that I can import and I can hold probably a further 84-ish beta, depending on how I want to do it. That's awesome, Mikey. I have oh, not all at once. Currently I have a collection of about 65 fish tanks that are all pre-drilled for a central system. But I'm still like, I'm not sure whether I just want to put like a stopper in the bottom of them, seal them up, and run them all on a central air system, so that each single tank has its own little ecosystem going, rather than relying on nobody getting sick and having to treat an entire system. I'm still really on the fence with it, but it has pros and it has cons either way you do it. So right now I'm still, like I said, I'm still really on the fence as to how I want to do it. I know how the tanks are going to sit. They're going to be 3 high. So like I'm going to have the 3 racks of the fish tanks, and then like, what was it? I think it was like 6 rows or 7 rows of 3. So I'm excited about that. And for the weather to break means that I'll actually be able to go out and get what I need to get ready for that, so the system is better for the beta. I have I have so many tanks that it really doesn't matter. But you're right, it's all pros and cons either way. So, as long as the fish that are going into the system are healthy fish, there should be no problem. And I always quarantine and treat everything that comes into my fish room. So, I mean, you're kind of asking for trouble if you don't. So I see it all the time. Oh, I bought corridors and now all my fish are dead. Well, did you quarantine them? It happens so often. But also, one of the things that I don't know, most of you probably already know this, but I'm also an admin for Better Fish Keepers. Um, it's a huge group, massive group. And it's a lot to it is a lot to keep a hold of, and I'm not even gonna sit here and try and pretend like I'm the best admin there. I'm the worst admin there because everybody else has to get to it before I do. But I always try to be helpful where I can and just watch, and if I see something before one of the admins on that page are amazing. They get to everything way faster than I ever could, and I don't know, I don't know how they do it, but they just allowed breeding topics, which I'm like, yay, finally. Um, but it definitely opens up a really, really big can of worms. So if any of you guys are members of BFK and see really, really terrible breeding posts, feel free to tag me in those so that I can so that I can try and talk some sense into people. There's so many people just think, oh, I'm just gonna get a male and a female, I'm gonna breed them, and everything's gonna be good. And again, it's the age-old thing. They're like, well, I didn't know they were gonna have 300 babies, and I'm like, did you feed them? What are you feeding them? How are you gonna jaw them? Like it's insane that a lot of people just don't realize. They think that fish have like 10 babies and everything's gonna be perfect, not realizing that these guys are capable of producing 600 fry, and if they all survive and they're all healthy and good, you've got 600 fry to deal with, and finding individual jars for 600 fry is no fun, not at all. Yeah, my tanks are all, they'll be running on like an overflow system. So like the scent, they're drilled through the bottom, so they'll have the pipe that comes up and overflow into the pipe down into the next tank. So that's kind of, I don't have an issue with the way that the overflow system works. I kind of like it because I can control how fast the water is entering the tanks and coming out, so that's not so much of a problem. My issue is beta are prone to stress and then therefore getting velvet. So velvet for me is like the biggest issue there is. And another thing with beta is a really large thing that I have found is that a sick beta. Oh, why is my face itching? I'm sorry. A sick beta often doesn't present symptoms until it's almost too late. You have to be really, really on the ball when it comes to catching beta sickness. Unless it's something obvious like a tumor or ick, for instance, which personally, I've never seen ick in beta. I have seen a lot of velvet. and oddly enough, a lot of I don't know how to say it properly, but hexemia. I think that's how they say how it's called. Microbacteriosis. I don't know. I probably completely destroyed the pronunciation of that, but it's okay because I know that you fish keepers know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, yeah. I do like the stream dwelling fish, but the way I'm gonna have this system running is that the flow is not gonna be so heavy. It's gonna be very, very restricted, and I'm actually gonna have it where the water goes up to the top to come into the fish tanks. At the other end, I'm gonna actually have it open to drain straight back into the sump, so that flow, there's never any pressure built up in it. It's always just circulating, so it's just like almost like a trickle system or like a drip system for jars. And then I figured in the bottoms of the tanks where the water exits the bottom of the tank, I'm going to put like almost like a spray bar, so the water that's coming out of the tank into the next tank is like spraying into all of the individual sections. That's kind of how I have it planned out right now. I don't know if it's going to work like that, but we're going to hope. We are going to hope. And hopefully it's going to be amazing, and hopefully nothing's going to go wrong, which I know it will, because this is fish keeping and nothing is ever simple. No matter how many months, years I sit and think about how I'm gonna have this all work out and be absolutely perfect, it never goes that way. I Yeah, it's not gonna go that way. I'm gonna have a lot of adjustments that are gonna have to be made in the first year of it running, and I'm already prepared for that, so it's okay. So what else? What else? um I don't know. I don't really know right now. Like, I'm completely obsessed with these new fish that I got. I've got some really pretty half moons. And again, I wish I could show them, but unfortunately I don't have the pleasure yet of being able to use my cell phone to go live from, which actually is probably a good thing, because I'm most likely going to walk into something or drop my phone in a fish tank or something terrible. So it's probably best that I just stick to the laptop. Um, I'm very excited about my coppers coming in next week. That's going to be a really good experience. I had a giant beta called Andre, and unfortunately I lost him this week, so that was sad, but again, we lose fish, that happens. What else? Plans for my 75. I'm not sure yet. Like, every part of me says reseal it, buy something big and aggressive. Like, I want another flower horn. I love them so much. But then again, part of me is like, I don't really want to mess with it, because I want to say this tank is one of the really old ones, so it's super heavy. Like, that thing weighs a lot. I think it's like ½ inch or 3/4 inch glass on it. So it's just absolutely ridiculous. But I also really love the fact that it's a 75-gallon tank. It's a really good size to get something that's not, a beta, or maybe I could turn it into like a habitat tank for wild betas. There's so many different options with it. Like, I don't have to fill it the whole way up either. I could fill it maybe less than half of the way, like a third of the way up, and have like a really, really awesome. Yeah, I lost my white giant. Super sad. Right after I bought him a female too. I got the female in and I lost my white giant. But I kind of saw it coming, and again, I think he was. Actually, I don't really know why he died. He just stopped swimming and died. like literally within 2 days. I saw that he wasn't doing so well, so I treated him, and I upped my water changes. I gave him a bunch of Indian almond leaves. I did everything I could for him, and he just then all of a sudden just stopped swimming. I knew he wasn't something wasn't quite right with him, but there was no visible signs of velvet. There was no like everything else seemed perfectly normal on him. He just all of a sudden stopped swimming. So I'm really not too sure. And without sending him out and having some sort of lab, lab work done on him, which we all know that that's really, really expensive, I decided to just be, okay, it happens. It's unfortunate, but it happens. And I'll find another giant, or maybe I'll start up a new project with a female giant who is still juvenile size. She's like, right now she's just a fraction bigger than an adult regular female. She's only fractionally bigger, so one of my bigger males, I might be able to spawn her to that and start up a new line of giants. Possibly. Again, that's a lot of work in progress. That's years of line working. Um, Not that it's not something that I'm thinking about, because this year I was gonna also show, and unfortunately because of the virus, that's all been cancelled too, and that stinks. It looks like this virus is set to destroy everything fun for this year so far. Like, I think those of you that went to the Big Fish deal got really lucky before everything else got shut down. So I'm just hoping that this virus goes away so that we can all be safe. We can all go to our fish events, create fish events. I don't know. I just want to go. I want to come and meet everyone, and it's so frustrating. It really is super frustrating. But things have been good here. So I also got a new puppy, and she is awesome. Unfortunately, she's not making an appearance because she's not allowed down here. Um, because she is big and klutzy and silly and dopey and awesome, and I love her. She actually just turned 19 weeks today. She weighs about 65 pounds already, and she is absolutely amazing. She is a Great Dane, and oh boy, she's a lot of work. She is a lot of work. So she's something else that has been keeping me very, very busy. Between that and no school for my kids, I still have 4 kids home. I've got 4 that are grown. So, 4 kids at home with no school. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yes, I do have relatives in the UK. Yes, I do. Um, and I'm very happy being on the other side of the ocean. I love them to death, but you know, they're awesome. I love them, but they very, very distant. My family is very, very broken up. So, but that's a story for a different time. But yes, the puppy, she's growing so fast, and it's like you blink your eyes and all of a sudden she's grown like 6 inches and gained another 20 pounds. And unfortunately, after putting my back out on Friday, she doesn't walk up the stairs. She refuses point blank to walk upstairs. She'll do the steps off on my back porch, which is like 2 steps. That's it. Any more than 2, she's like, nope, I am not going up those stairs. So I still have to carry her upstairs to my room at night so that she can get into bed with me and my husband. And I have to lift her onto the bed because she refuses to climb onto the bed. And she's almost getting too big to be able to do that with. And there's no way I could lift her right now, not with my back the way it is. But I'm looking to getting some other species going down here, hopefully probably in the next 6 or 7 months or so. I'm not really in Jay's bedroom. I figured someone would hold me to it. Um, some other breeding projects I'd like to get going down here. I think it would be cool to try breeding some angelfish just to try. Maybe what else do I really like? I really like the epistogrammas. They're really cool. I also really like gourami. So that's another thing that I would like to try breeding. But I also still want to dedicate part of my fish room to the cares list. So that's again, that's another thing that I have to consider, and I have to pick something that I can work with in the space that I have rather than trying to just pick something because I like the way it looks. Um, I'm telling you, I swear I have allergies. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Um, so the plants down here, I have frog bit that has literally grown this high above the waterline and is actually burning itself on the lights in one of my tanks. And I have it's flowering, and I've never had that before. That was a super cool thing to see. That was absolutely awesome because I didn't even realize the frogbit flowered. I had no idea that frogbit flowered. I just thought it was like the little tiny leaf. Well, not tiny leaves, but like the biggest I've seen them is like about a quarter, size of a quarter, and these things are nearly 3 inches. Nearly 3 inches. In fact, I'm gonna go and get one so you can see it because they're huge. Just 1 second. Oh, look at the size of these frogbit leaves. You ever seen something like that? Look at the stem on it. I took pictures of the frogbit and I put them on like my Instagram and stuff. Um, because I have never ever seen frogbit leaves this big. This is, I mean, look at the size of that. It's so amazing, and I love looking at the way that they actually look like this. Like they're not sitting on the water like this anymore. They're actually sticking up out of the water, and I have footage of the fish tank that they're growing in. And unfortunately, for some reason, I can't get it off of my phone. I've even gone into I've plugged my phone into the computer and gone into the phone's files and tried to pull them out and drop them onto my computer screen, and they won't do it. They just won't download, and I don't really know why. So I'm kind of frustrated about that. And of course, now I've got duckweed everywhere. Because I actually really like duckweed. A lot of people hate it. I love it. I think it's awesome. I love how it helps the water in the tank. I love how it helps like little insects in the tank and keeps things looking really natural for my liking. And I just love it. So many people are so against it. And but I also harvest it as well, so that's another thing that I do is I actually harvest my duckweed and I freeze it, and then I turn it into fish food and shrimp food. And my shrimp and my snails, which ram's horn snails, I have thousands of them, and they're very unsightly in my opinion, but they have such a great, not a connection, but the way that ram's horn snails are with shrimp tanks, it's like the most perfect match made in heaven. They are really, really good. Yeah, these frog bit. Um, the frog bit is actually growing in a 30-gallon tank, and the roots are so incredibly matted that even that's why I only ended up with just the one leaf, because I couldn't get the plant out. I tried to pull the plant out and it just wasn't happening. But the roots are like 30 inches long. It's crazy. I love them. I absolutely love the way it looks. And I love duckweed. Actually, I like pretty much all plants as long as I can keep them alive, which at first I was not very good at. I don't run CO2 in my tanks, but I do I do use it when I've got a new plant that I'm trying to adjust to my water. So I will use like CO2 tablets to help get them started and established, and then I'll slowly wean them off, and then they're fine. Like, for instance, Java moss, which can be really horrible for some people. Like, it dies off completely. And one of my biggest pieces of advice to anyone that's got Java moss, just leave it. It will come back. It might take a long time, but eventually it will come back. It's it's actually a phenomenal looking plant, and my shrimp love it. Absolutely love it. I have blue shrimp, um, blue velvet, and blue dreams. I have some jellies, various different grades. I have some of the babies that came out of the blue were actually out of the blue shrimp were actually like I forget what they call them, dragon's blood I think they call it, where the back is like really black and then the underside of them is blue, and they're just really nice and they're so much fun to watch. Like, I never thought I would enjoy shrimp the way I enjoy them. So like, anyone that ever asks me about them, I'm literally like, you need to get shrimp in your tanks. You need to get shrimp, except for betta tanks, because betta will kill them. Not all the time, but if you have a betta and you want to keep shrimp, it's probably not advised. You put those shrimp in your tanks at your own risk. I, on the other hand, will only allow baby betta in shrimp tanks because they will eat them and they will eat all the baby shrimplets, and that's not something anyone wants either. Um, Couple of things that I do want to mention, actually. One of the first things is my heart absolutely goes out to Big Rich and his family from the Ohio Fish Rescue. I could not even imagine going through what he's going through. Like, that is just absolutely unbelievable. And I don't know how he holds it together. Like, I really don't. I don't know how you can hold it together having an establishment. The his his passion for the fish is so big. I don't know how he could. I don't know how he keeps up with all of the fish that he has and just everyday needs. Like, it is absolutely insane. And my heart just breaks for him. And then to find out that he also broke a rib as well, on top of everything else, and not being able to go and see Tracy it just breaks my heart. I just want to go and give him a big hug. What else was there? There was something else that I wanted to mention, and I forget what it is because I'm honestly terrible at this kind of thing. Oh, I also created a band, and it's so that anyone who is in the US can sell their betta, even if they imported betta but they're physically in the USA, you can buy those betta from those people. And basically, I question everybody before they even post anything to make sure that they are legitimately in the USA. And yeah, Mikey, they really are fighters. I almost wish that I had moved to Ohio when we were thinking about it. Um, and I just feel so bad. Like I just want to go out and help, but there's just no way I could. Not with 4 children, fish room, dog, husband, helping out my friend with that pizza shop. It's just I already have way too much on my plate as it is. So I'm planning on getting some shrimp established in my 10 gallons so I could introduce my beta fry into grow out. Would that be safe with a fry? You can. One of the nice things about the beta and the shrimp, like the baby beta and the shrimp, is they both kind of like similar environments as well. So that's probably a good thing. The only thing I will say is if your shrimp are breeding, which mine are breeding through the roof, if your shrimp are breeding, the beta fry will pick any babies off. The beta fry will eat the baby shrimp. Um, Not all of them, as long as you have plenty of hiding spaces for the shrimp. But I have also seen, not in my fish room because I don't put adult beta in with the shrimp. But actually today I had she's got to be, I think she's about 10 weeks old. And she was munching down on one of my husband's blue velvets. Yeah. So her and her little shark friends, as my husband calls them. My husband's like, you left sharks in my tank. Like, they're not sharks, they're beta. Same difference. Okay. But yeah, when I gave him one of the tanks, it was like super heavily planted with anchoress. And I thought I caught all the fry. I had no idea that I hadn't. And he, 2 days ago, sorry, Thursday it was, he was trimming back the anchoress. And out popped 6 more fry that have been in there growing quite happily on his shrimp. So, yeah, he wasn't too happy about it. But it's a little bit too late to worry about it now because they ate any babies that were in there. And that's why he refers to them as the sharks. So it's it's funny, but it's not funny because I felt bad for him. He was saying to me the one day, he's like, I swear that these shrimp are either not breeding or they're dying or something's eating them. And I'm looking in the tank and I'm like, well, they're fine. I'm sure they're just hiding in all the anchoress. Well, Thursday he decided to thin all the anchoress out, and lo and behold, there's 6 beta in there. So that's what happened to his shrimp. And thankfully, I've got 2 other colonies that are established and doing really well. So hopefully soon I'll also have the blues available for sale too. I have fancy guppies for days, and I'm actually working on trying to get that all listed on my eBay. So hopefully soon, I have my 5 painted reds on my eBay, but I don't really have much of anything else except for my Grindle ones. But I'm working on trying to get some other listings going. Yeah, I felt bad for him too because the shrimp were like his little project, and I was like, yay, I'm getting him involved in the fish room, which is fantastic because he actually does a lot of my water changes for me when I'm not able to do them, especially now. That's what I get for trying to lift 120 pounds by myself, but you know, that's a dead set way of throwing your back out. And it definitely did a number on me this time. But thankfully, he is more than capable of doing my water changes for me, and he helps me out so much, more so than ever. And that's why, to me, getting this rack system and having it on the overflow system, I feel like if it's just centralized, it would just make things so much easier for him and me also. But more so for him if he's taking care of things while I'm not able to. But again, there's so many what ifs. There's so many what ifs. But hopefully, hopefully soon that you'll actually be able to see that going into effect. And I feel like a broken record because I feel like I've been saying it for like a year straight. But my fish tanks really are still sitting in my garage, collecting all manner of goodies from the winter. And boy, are they filthy. They are really, really, really dirty. So they're going to take some really good scrubbing. And I need to try and figure out why I can't get videos uploaded because, like I said, I've got so many different videos on my phone, but it's just not allowing me to upload them to my computer, and I'm not exactly sure why. Not the first time I've had issues with this particular computer either, so that just kind of it's just another kick, you know, because the last thing I wanted to do was like disappear off for months on end and not even be able to, you know, d- upload a video. And that's basically what ended up happening was I'm just not able to even upload anything to my computer because it just keeps telling me that it can't find. No, my husband is not ill, but he does my water changes for me when I'm not around. And I put my back out on Friday, so more so than ever, I need him to be able to help me. And that's probably you're probably thinking of, you probably heard me talking about how Jay's beta was saying that he feels sorry for my husband. That's terrible, and that's because my baby beta ate his shrimp. Yeah, no other reason other than that. That was it. My baby beta ate his shrimp, and yeah, I kind of feel bad that that happened, but also at the same time, like I really didn't know that they were in there. I thought I caught all of them. They were really, really tiny as well. They're only like 2 weeks old when I was trying to catch them amongst all of this anchoress. And clearly I missed a couple, or a couple more than a couple. But apart from that, really, everything else has been going pretty well. I'm now it's like mission move forward, and with the better weather coming, it's going to be a lot easier to be able to be in and out of my basement and have deliveries brought up. And because I'm going to end up having to have the wood delivered because I need quite a bit of it, and it's definitely not going to fit in anybody's car. I might actually rope my my next door neighbor is kind of my sidekick when it comes to me going and get crazy things. He actually helped me transport all of my fish tanks to the house. So I might even try and rope him into maybe going and getting a bunch of supplies for the fish room. And he keeps making fun of me, saying that I'm the reason that the power keeps going out in the town. So that's funny. But I'm hoping that the next couple of months are going to be. I think the next couple of months are going to be hard for a lot of people, and I really hope that I'm going to be able to find some sort of schedule where I can get online. And I'm thinking Mondays is probably going to be the easiest day for me to be online. Mondays or maybe even Tuesdays. And I'm going to try and set up a new schedule there, so that I can be regular again. So that I have that schedule where everyone can remember that, oh, she's going to be on this day. So I didn't really want anyone thinking that I had forgotten about anyone, because I certainly haven't. And those of you that have me on Facebook, or are in the same groups that I'm in, I do look in Facebook and keep an eye on everyone that's on Facebook, and try to keep up to date with everything that everyone's doing, and everybody's fish rooms and stuff. So that is that has been like my news feed for the past few months. Not that Facebook is a great news feed, but that's how I keep up to date with the majority of people, since I haven't been able to be on YouTube, nor have I been able to upload videos, which is highly frustrating. So, but apart from that, I don't really think I have much else that I can, that I, there's nothing else that really springs to mind. Um, my biggest thing really is the fish community. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. And I really hope that all of you just stay safe during this time. Like, this is a time I never thought that I would live through something like this. Um, and I feel like a lot of people are struggling right now with the isolation side of it. Me personally, I don't care. Like, I like being at home with my children. I prefer to be home with my children. I like having my kids around me. I'm that mom that doesn't like them to go back to school after the summer break. I cry every year. They can be 3 or they could be 15, and I'm still going to cry every single time that they go back to school, because I actually enjoy my children a lot. And so I kind of enjoy being home, especially with my kids and my family. That's what's important to me, and my fish. My kids, my family, and my fish. That's all I need. That's all I need. And I am one very happy person. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that really struggle with the isolation side of it. So I want to make sure that if there is anyone that is struggling with like the isolation of lockdown, or maybe you're immunocompromised and you can't get out and you're just looking for conversation, by all means reach out. And if I can talk, I will do. I don't want anyone suffering through this, and if that's the least I can do in order to help my community members, that's exactly what I'll do. So, but we're almost at an hour now, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a night from here. And if you guys have any questions, or want to shoot me a message about any of the fish that I keep or anything that I have to sell, you're more than welcome to. And we'll go from there. So thank you guys for catching up with me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you that's come to see me after so long. And you should all be yelling at me, where have you been, Shishi? but but for now, that is it. And again, all of you, please just stay well and stay safe, because that is what is most important. Your health is more important than anything in the world right now. So, on that note, I will bid you farewell and have a wonderful night. And aquariums maintained by Andy. Hi. Sorry, it's probably delayed, but I'm actually just about to close it down. What just do a video on your plans too. I have got a video of my plans. As soon as I can figure out why I cannot get it, why I can't get it off of my phone, like, I don't know what is going on with this, but I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to even see this very well. But that's one of my shrimp tanks right there, and like I have videos of that. I have so many videos on my phone right now about a grindleworm, the grindleworm culture. I did a whole like tutorial on grindleworms and how to set up your culture after you've received it, because a lot of people have been requesting that from me, because a lot of people have bought grindleworms from me recently, and sometimes it's easier for you to see how someone does it rather than read how to do it. So I was like, you know what, I'll do a video on it. Did the video, have the video in my phone, and I even broke it down into like smaller sections so it didn't take so long to upload onto my computer. Computer won't have any of it. Like, literally all of that is literally videos. All of it is videos that I cannot get off, and I'm super aggravated by it, but it's what it is. And here, there's the puppy. So yeah, that is what keeps me entertained and also extremely busy. Unfortunately, I cannot take her for walks right now, but you know, she's awesome. And soon, maybe when she's conquered the stairs and isn't so terrified of everything, maybe she'll make an appearance on one of the streams or I'll get some video of her. But on that note, guys, I am absolutely gonna call it a night and again share the love with everyone and just make sure that everyone's okay in your families and your neighbors and you know do your part and we'll get through this together. So you guys have a wonderful evening and I hope to not be too much of a stranger and maybe I'll try streaming on Monday nights and make a new time where I can stream on Monday nights, hopefully not overlapping with anyone, which is super difficult to do. There's so many streamers anymore, so on that note, you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.